Hello students, welcome to virtual classroom. So this is the fourth lecture or video of chapter number 3. In last videos we have seen test cross and back cross and all the three laws of Mendelian. Now today we will start with deviation from Mendelian ratios, or these are also called as post-Mendelian genetics or neo-Mendelian genetics. So after the discovery or rediscovery of Mendel's law, many scientists perform experiments on different plants and animals. So they found some exceptions, that is deviation to the Mendelian ratio. So based on these deviation and the observation which were made, different patterns of inheritance and gene interaction were discovered, and these all together they are called as post-Mendelian genetics. So first we will see in this, there are these deviations, they are called as intragenic deviation and intergenic deviation. Intergenic deviation means, or intragenic occurs between alleles of same gene, that is you can see examples: incomplete dominance, codominance and multiple alleles. Means these are the gene interaction. Second is intergenic, means non-allelic, and they occur between the alleles of different genes on the same or different chromosome. And examples of intergenic are pleiotropy, polygenes, epistasis, supplementary and complementary genes. So first we will see what is incomplete dominance. In case of incomplete dominance, both the genes of an allelomorphic pair, genes which are structurally similar, allelomorphic pair express themselves partially. Means one gene cannot suppress the expression of the other completely. One gene cannot suppress the expression of other gene completely. So in this case the pair is, you can say, as one dominant and other recessive. That is not in this case. In such cases there is an intermediate expression of the traits in F1 hybrid. And very good example of this incomplete dominance can be seen in case of 4 o'clock plant, which is called as Mirabilis jalapa. So there are two pure varieties in this case. One is with red and one is with white flower. So in case of F1 hybrid, we can find a new color, a new trait comes, that is the mixture of red and white, and the flowers are pink. So here you will find the ratio. In case of incomplete dominance, phenotypic ratio is 1:2:1, and even genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. So when one with red flower is crossed with the other with white flower in F1 hybrid, we get pink flowers. And by selfing of F1 hybrid, that is the pink flower, when selfing of this pink flower does, so in F2 generation we get red, pink and white in the ratio of 1:2:1. So red, pink and white. Parents were original red and white. In F1 we get pink color. So there is partial expression of the genes. and no genes suppress each other. So, and neither of the gene is dominant over the other, or neither of the gene is recessive over the other. Understood? So in this way we are getting both genotypic and phenotypic ratio same, 1:2:1. So this means factors segregate and there is no mixing of factors. Factors means genes, and there is no mixing of genes, and the intermediate shade which is produced is due to incomplete dominance. So in case of incomplete dominance, there is no blending theory. Blending of colors does not occur. Though in F1 we get all pink, but the parental ratio or the parental traits red and white reappear in the F2 generation. So this is about incomplete dominance. Next is codominance. In case of codominance, both the genes in allelomorphic pair express themselves equally in F1 hybrid. They express equally in F1 hybrids, and such alleles which are able to express themselves independently, even if present together in hybrids, are called codominant alleles. They called codominant alleles. And best example is coat color in cattle. Coat color. Cattle's coat color is a skin color. It is very much good example of codominance. You can see when red coat color of cattle is mixed with white coat color cattle, in F1 generation we get a mixture of both the colors. That is called as roan. R-O-A-N, roan. And when selfing is done of this F1 hybrids, we get all the traits, parental as well as the new. Means red also, white and roan also, in the ratio 1:2:1. Thus, in case of codominance, also genotypic and phenotypic ratios are identical. Means both the ratios, they are 1:2:1. So incomplete dominance and codominance, in both the cases the ratios of genotypic and phenotypic are identical, but in case of incomplete dominance, the phenotypes of hybrid is intermediate. Means what? We are getting intermediate color in F1 generation. But in case of codominance, both the genes are equally expressed. So partial expression of genes is there in case of incomplete dominance, and identical or equally expression of both the parental genes is there in case of codominance. Now coming to next, that is multiple alleles. Multiple alleles. More than two alternative forms of a gene in a population, if they occupy the same locus, means same position on a chromosome or on its homologous, they are known as multiple alleles. And these multiple alleles, they arise by mutation of wild type of the gene, means the original gene. So mutation takes place, and because of that we get multiple alleles of the same trait. So a gene can mutate several times and produce series of alternate expressions. Means what? A gene can undergo several mutation and can produce number of expression of the same trait. So different alleles in a series show dominant and recessive relation, or may show codominance or incomplete dominance also. So in such case, wild type is dominant over all other mutant alleles, and multiple alleles, they do not undergo crossing over. What is the peculiarity or what is the specialty? Multiple alleles do not undergo crossing over. And best example is explained with respect to the Drosophila. In case of Drosophila, large number of multiple alleles are known, and one of them is the series of wings. They have different types of wings, abnormally ranging in size from normal wings to no wings, means without wings, Drosophila without wings. So the normal wings is wild type, and it is denoted by VG plus. The extreme expression with no wings is VG, while nicked wings is VGNI, and notch wings is VGNO. Strap wings is VGST. So these are variations because of multiple, or you can say because of mutation in alleles forming multiple traits. Now another best example in case of multiple alleles is seen in ABO blood group in human beings. ABO blood group in human beings. The gene I in case of humans controls the ABO blood groups. How many types of blood groups we have? A, B and O. And gene responsible is I, denoted by capital I. So it has 3 alleles. How many alleles? 3 alleles. IA, IB and small I. For blood type A, accepted notation is given by capital A or capital A and small I. For blood type P, notations given as capital IB or capital IB and small I. For blood type AB, it is IA and IB. For blood type O, it is small I. And for sickle cell anemia, which is a disease condition, it is denoted as HBS. And for sickle cell anemia in case of healthy, it is denoted as HbA. So here the IA and IB produce a slightly different form of the antigen and LE small I. So it does not produce, small I does not produce any antigen. Since we see human beings are diploid organism with 2 n sets of chromosome, each person possesses 2 of these I gene alleles. Each person possesses 2 of the 3 I gene alleles. Any 2 combinations will be there. So it is IA and IB are codominant and completely dominant over small I. So IA and IB, if you see, they are completely dominant over small I. So that's why there are 6 different genotypes. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And only 4 different phenotypes. That is the blood group. Which blood group? A, B and O. So this is the best example in case of human beings of multiple alleles. Now next is pleiotropy. Now what is this? When a single gene controls 2 or more different traits, it is called pleiotropic gene. When a single gene controls, right? And this phenomena is called pleiotropy or pleiotropism. And in this case, the ratio is 2:1 instead of normal 3:1. So according to Mendel's principle of unit character, or one gene factor controls only one character. But sometimes what happens, single genes produces two or more related or unrelated phenotypic expressions. For example, the disease sickle cell anemia is caused by gene HBS. It is caused by gene HBS. Normal or healthy gene is HbA, means hemoglobin A, HbA, and it is a dominant one. The carriers of this gene, of this disease, they are heterozygous, means they will have HbA and HbS. They are carriers, HbA and HbS. So they are said to have sickle cell traits, means they are carriers and they will have sickle cell trait and are normal in normal conditions. They will possess HbS, heterozygous condition, but they will be carrier. They will not show disease conditions. But the homozygous with recessive gene HbS is fatal. Therefore, the patient or the individual will die of fatal anemia. Thus, the gene for sickle cell anemia is lethal. Lethal means a gene which causes death of the bearer is called lethal gene. So this gene for sickle cell anemia is lethal in homozygous condition and produces sickle cell trait in heterozygous condition. So two different expressions are produced by a single gene. How many? Two different expressions. And the best example, so this is the best example of pleiotropy when we see sickle cell anemia condition. So HbA and HbA is normal, HbS and HbA is heterozygous. So this is sickle cell, and if it is HbS, it is sickle cell anemia. So in case of marriage between two carriers, if a marriage between two carriers takes place, it will produce one normal individual, two carriers, and one sickle cell anemic individual. So the sickle cell anemic condition is lethal, so that individual will die because of this condition. Now here you can see, this is the same. This is normal condition, sickle cell which is carrier, and sickle cell which is lethal. When marriage between two individuals, one is sickle cell carrier and other is sickle cell carrier, takes place. So the ratio is 1:2:1. So therefore, arranged marriage between two heterozygous can be discouraged to avoid birth of children with fatal sickle cell anemia. So such type of marriages can be avoided if we know that the couples are sickle cell carrier, because then after when they will produce children, one will be normal, two will be sickle cell carrier, and one children will die because of sickle cell anemic condition. So to avoid this, marriages between heterozygous can be discouraged or avoided. Now here these are normal blood cell or RBCs, and these are the sickle cells. Second are the sickle cells. Now if we see, in case of sickle cell cells, breakdown of RBC takes place. what breakdown of RBC takes place, and because of breakdown of RBC, that is the red blood cell, there occurs physical weakness, anemic condition, and even heart failure. And because of anemic condition, there may be possibility of impaired mental health. And secondly, sickle cell anemia also leads to clumping of cells and coagulation of small blood vessel. Now, what do you mean by coagulation? Means clotting. When blood clots in blood vessels, then the size of the blood vessel decreases. So coagulation of small blood vessel takes place, and this leads to heart failure and pain and fever. Even brain damage can occur. And because of clumping or coagulation of small blood vessels, there is possibility of paralysis also. Third condition is accumulation of sickle cell in spleen. So accumulation of sickle cell in spleen leads to spleen damage, and again this may a result of clumping of cells also, and because of that damage to other organs can take place, like kidney failure. So this is about the pleiotropic or pleiotropism. Now next pattern or next type is polygenic inheritance. Now in case of polygenic inheritance, characters they are determined by two or more gene pairs. So in human population, characters such as height of the person, skin color, and intelligence show variations, or you can say show gradations, that is continuous variation in expression and not only two contrasting expressions. So there is variations, continuous variation we can see, and these characters are determined by two or more gene pairs. So they have additive or cumulative effect, and these genes are called as therefore cumulative genes. What they call? They are called as cumulative genes or polygenes or multiple factors. And in this case the ratio is 1:4:6:4:1. I repeat, it is 1:4:6:4:1. And if there are two genes having additive effect, like in case of example wheat kernel color, and in case of polygenes such as skin color in human beings, then the ratio is again different. It is 1:6:15:20:15:6:1. So wheat kernel color and skin color in human beings is very good example of polygenic genes or polygenes. So mainly in case of continuation variation, when we see number of colors, and these they range from the darkest red, then to medium, then intermediate red color is found, then light red and white. So these are different colors which we see. This is in case of wheat kernel. So here this is red. When it is crossed with white, then different colors are seen. We can see red, dark, then medium color, then light color and total white color. So these are the different color combinations which we get in the ratio of 1:4:6:4:1 in case of wheat kernel color. And in case of skin color in human beings, we get different ratio. Just now I said it is 1:6:15:20:15:6:1, and different skin colors we can see. So human skin color, this is Davenport and Davenport. This is based on Davenport and Davenport. And he studied the inheritance of skin color in black and white population in USA. And population derived from marriages between black and white show intermediate skin color, and therefore they are called as mulattoes. What they called as? They are called as mulattoes. When such individuals, which individuals? Mulattoes, when they marry each other, all shades of color are observed in the population in this ratio. 1:6:15:20:15:6:1. And from this it can be concluded that the skin color in human is controlled by 3 pairs of genes, that is capital A small a, capital B small b, capital C small c. So these 3 pairs of genes are responsible. And the presence of melanin pigment in the skin determines the skin color. Each dominant gene is responsible for the synthesis of fixed amount of melanin, and the effect of all the genes is additive. Therefore, the amount of melanin synthesized is always proportional to the number of dominant genes. The more the number of dominant genes, the more the darker will be the skin color. So that's why genotype of black parent is capital A, capital A, capital B, capital B, capital C, and capital C. Means all 3 dominant pairs of genes. While that for albino it is small a, small b, small b, and small c, small c. And for mulattoes it is capital A, small a, capital B, small b, capital C, small c. So when selfing is done, or when mixing of this F1 hybrid done, so 8 into 8, 64 combination in F2 generation were obtained. And the colors, so there are 7 different phenotypes because of cumulative effect of each dominant gene, but 64 combinations were possible. How many? 64. First is pure black, then very dark brown, then dark brown, then the intermediate mulatto, then fair, very fair, and pure white, which is also called as albino. So this is all about today's lecture. I hope you have understood today's topics, all different post Mendelian deviations